Hi, I'm Mike Thompson, and this is Steve the Bat. I made him for my wife after she and I had discussed our favorite songs together. This is definitely one of the stranger things I've made. Check out what he can do. Boom! Oh, man! Where'd the apple go? Well, needless to say, Steve works extremely well. Yep, that cantaloupe solids. We're gonna need to get some more melon and we'll do this thing again. Let me show you why I did it the way I did it though. It's easy to see somebody build something online, but unless you understand the why behind why they did it, you might try to replicate it and make mistakes. And I certainly don't want you to do that. So let me show you why I made this the way I did. So I started out by cutting some 2-inch wide strips of paper and then taping them all together, making sure they're nice and straight. Just like so. I'm going to use this as my template for drilling the bat. And I decided that 1 3/8 inches is the pitch that I want around the bat, or the distance between. The pitch is, 2 inches. So I'll go mark this a whole bunch of times at 1 3/8. And then get my little V-block here on my drill press centered up so that I can drill perfectly radial holes in my bat. And get it all tightened up here. All right, that's pretty good. And so now, I very quickly wrap a bunch of this paper around the bat, and so I can drill my holes. Tape it on, and it took a little bit because, the bat's tapered. In the sweet spot, not really, but somewhat, so it's still a little bit difficult. Then get it all taped down there so I can see my marks, and pick out which will be my starter, probably right there, so it's not too close to the end of the bat. Get it in the V-block, align it with that little mark, and then drill it. We'll just go 1 inch deep for these first couple test holes. And get my next mark here, and then drill that one as well. And then just keep spinning it and keep drilling it. Now I can unwrap my paper, since I drilled all 16 of my holes, and see how it comes out. That's pretty good. This was one of my dad's old bats. He used to have it wrapped in tape. That's why it's kind of bleached there in the center. But that looks pretty good. And I cut the head off this framing nail, and you can see 2 of them set in there pretty good. So let me do a few more. These bolt cutters make quick work of these nail heads. These are just little framing nails from my nailing gun. Pound them in here. Now these tips are get a little bit blunt, but it'll work for this test. And do a whole bunch of them really fast. So I've got 8 nails in here, which is half the number that I ultimately want, and it looks pretty darn good. They stick out about 2.5 inches, which I really like, but the nails just don't look terribly imposing, and of course they are flimsy. I mean, I can bend these pretty easily. And of course, if you go to hit something with this, these little things are going to snap, or at least bend, which is not what I want. So, instead of these little nails, which are just nails for my framing gun, they're only 3 inches long, I went and bought these guys. These are 6 inches long. Woo! They're slippery little suckers. Happens all the time. These guys are 6 inches long and 1/4 inch in diameter. Having these stick out would look a lot better. So I'm going to pull these out, upsize the holes, and stick this in. However, I don't really want, these are currently sunk in 1 inch. I don't really want 5 inches of this thing sticking out. That's ridiculously long. So what I'm going to do is cut this nail, I think, and have it stick out, I guess, about as far as these ones are, because these are plenty long. They stick out basically about the same diameter of the bat, which is 2 3/8. These also aren't through holes. So let me explain the why what I did. Now in the show, of course, Steve takes a bat and hammers nails all the way through it in a somewhat random pattern. Well, I think that's a risk of splitting the bat, and I don't want to do it that way. And I have the time to engineer the perfect spiked bat. I'm not in any hurry or panic yet. But this will come in handy, of course, when I am. So what I'm doing to try this is, rather than hammer the nails all the way through, I'm simply embedding the nails in. That way, also when I hit something with it, and the nail strikes something hard, the nail's not likely to back out. Now it is more likely to, of course, pull out should the nail get lodged, but there's so much friction on it, if this thing gets lodged in something, odds are I'm not going to be able to pull it back out anyway. Of course, if the nail was driven all the way through, the head on the opposite side would keep it from pulling back out and keep the nail embedded in the bat. But I'm doing it this way first because if this doesn't work, I can always drill a through hole and then have, you know, my spiral coming around like so. With I've got it pitched such that if I were to drill all through holes, basically down the center of the bat would almost be a straight hole, and the nails would cross each other and just about touch as they spiral around the inside. So I left clearance to do that. But for this prototype, what I want to do is just embed the nails in so that they're not likely to push out. And I think it just looks better than having nail heads sticking out on the other side, even though I would counterbore them and make them flush. I think this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take all these nails back out, upsize the holes, cut these nails down a bit because they're way too long. These suckers were 25 cents a piece, so the whole thing's only $4 worth of nails. If I don't like it, I can pull those out and go get different nails. So let me get cutting some nails. And so I'll take these nails out. If you saw the things Grandpa taught me, then you know how this trick with the nails works. If you haven't seen that video, go back. You might learn a thing or two. I sure did. All right. And I've upsized the holes, and now I'll pound these larger nails in. Give this one a try here. That looks pretty good. I don't think that hole's quite radial. Well, that blended the end pretty good. It'll be okay, though. I can, of course, sharpen it should I need to. But I think, for the reasons I mentioned, doing it this way is going to fit my needs better than driving them all the way through. So let me go ahead and drill the rest of these holes and pound them in. I didn't want to cut 16 nails by hand, so I put them in the saw. And then I'll use this Alex sander to clean up the burrs on the end of my nails 16 times. And what do you get? Well, I'm another day older. And pound them in again. I drilled each of these holes 1/64 smaller than the diameter of the nail. And they're embedded about an inch deep. Oh boy, that's looking good. Look at that. Sweet. Good hit, Bubba. Oh! Fire! Ah!
Pull all my bearing.
Not bad. Messy, but great. Zombie brains. Well, this is Steve the Bat. That's Alex. He was a big help. Now
I'm the
you can.
pitcher.
You were the pitcher. Now you can see that this is something you can definitely do yourself. Use it responsibly, of course, but don't be afraid to try.
And don't whack the crud out of your. I'm kidding.
That's right. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. We're the Thompsons, and thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Batter up.
And Steve too.